I was a college dropout, child of a single parent, alcoholic father. Don't you ever forget where you came from, but don't you dare ever let it solely define you.
Who is this modern hero?
My name is Kat Cole, and this is my story.
Life looks a lot different these days for one of the country's most respected and powerful business executives overseeing a multi-billion-dollar brand portfolio.
Hi, Kat. Thank you for having me. It's nice to see you.
Come on in.
And the Modern Hero team got a rare glimpse of Kat Cole's world outside the boardroom.
Some speeds?
For somebody that's so used to being in control of so many things, this whole new experience must be so foreign.
Yeah, I would definitely say I have zero control.
Kat and her husband Daly recently welcomed their son Ocean into the world, and he's already making waves.
Some days he's amazing and chill and follows this beautiful rhythm, and other days it is a complete shit show, and he's crying and I'm crying and it's a mess.
Life is a far cry from Kat's own upbringing.
As a child, could you ever have imagined how your life would unfold?
No, because of my background, for me, success was simply being somewhere different tomorrow than I am today.
Growing up in Jacksonville, Florida, Kat's father was a primary breadwinner for their family of 5. But behind the scenes, he was struggling with a deep-rooted battle with substance abuse that ultimately tore their family apart.
He was an alcoholic, and even though he was and is an insanely sweet man, his drinking became the dominant factor, and he became a terrible husband and father. I had seen the fights, I had seen the car accidents, and it got to the point where my mom just said, if I don't leave now, will it be too late?
So Kat, her mom, and her 2 younger sisters packed up and left.
For me as a daughter, I think about what courage that took. I am who I am in the largest part because of just the way she showed up every day.
Kat's mom led by example. In order to support her family, she took on a variety of jobs and managed to feed her kids on a budget of just $10 a week.
How does one do that?
It's a good question. She'd go to the butcher and get scraps. She would buy bulk products. We ate a lot of things that are quite unsavory to parents today, like potted meat and beanie weenies. So she was resourceful, and so seeing that set the bar.
And Kat followed suit. At just 15 years old, Kat juggled life as an honor student and cheerleader with 3 part-time jobs, ranging from cleaning gym equipment to selling clothes at the mall.
Was that empowering for you when you realized you could make your own living?
Yeah, I was working more hourly jobs, so the more you work, the more you get paid. So it trained me that I have control to some degree over my income.
Kat was working 70 to 80 hours a week and found great success at one particular gig, where she was serving up chicken wings while sporting a pair of iconic orange hot pants.
I started working at Hooters when I was 17 as a hostess. I loved Hooters and I loved everything I was doing there, but I knew I didn't want to just work in the restaurants my whole life. And so I took on so many additional jobs in the restaurant in those early days.
Those additional jobs ranged from working as a line cook and occasional bartender to managing the staff and training new hires.
Before I knew it, a year later, I basically had this resume of knowing how to run a restaurant.
And people start to take notice.
When I was 19, the corporate office asked our general manager, do you have a top employee that you could recommend to be a part of the training team to go open the first Hooters franchise in Australia?
Wow.
And she recommended me. I did not have a passport. I had never opened a new restaurant, and yet I said, hell yeah.
So you said yes and then figured it out afterwards?
Yeah, because if you wait until you're ready, the opportunity is passing you by. Be willing to have the hustle muscle to figure it out.
Kat flexed her hustle muscle and got her passport in time to launch the Sydney branch. And it's a good thing she did. Before she knew it, she was opening restaurants around the globe and climbed the ranks in record speed, becoming a VP of the company at just 26 years old.
Did you have a hard time as a young woman having people take you seriously?
There were times when I would go in to lead a new team, and there would be people who would think, who is she to tell me what to do? But it didn't happen often. Part of that is because even though I didn't have the age, I had the experience and the maturity. Every single person I worked for, until I worked for the CEO, was a woman.
That's so unusual.
It's unusual. I'd seen this broad variety of how women show up to work and to lead, and it allowed me to find my voice at a very young age. And so when it came time for me to be in a boardroom and to be the only woman in the room, I was never trying to figure out how to be like a man.
Kat was quickly becoming a force to be reckoned with. In her 15 years at the company, they grew from a few $100 million to almost $900 million in sales, with over 400 locations. And other companies took notice.
I'd been recruited for many years and turned things down because nothing was as interesting, exciting, or challenging as Hooters. And one of the leaders from Focus Brands reached out and said, you know, I think you have a great leadership background and think you should consider interviewing for the president of Cinnabon role. And I thought, I've never been a president, but there's a first time for everything. Pillsbury, Cinnabon, cinnamon rolls.
Yes.
Cinnamon rolls.
Kat took control of Cinnabon in January 2011 at just 32 years old. During her first 3 years, Kat and her team grew the business by hundreds of locations around the world, established partnerships with grocery stores and fast food chains,
One of the many licensing endeavors.
That's right.
and transformed the company into a billion-dollar brand.
I eat the icing.
Hey, you're the boss.
So good.
In 2015, Cinnabon's parent company, Focus Brands, promoted Kat to group president of all their global chains.
All right, moment of truth.
Out of the oven.
And after increasing revenue across the board, she was named the company's chief operating officer in the summer of 2017.
Not bad. I think it's fair to say you love what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So where do you see yourself going in the future?
I like to say I follow a compass, not a roadmap. My compass direction is helping people realize they're capable of more than they know, and my humanitarian work.
Among her many humanitarian efforts, Kat has helped transform villages in Eastern Africa, tackled social issues as part of the United Nations Global Entrepreneurs Council, and is a fierce champion for the advancement of women around the world.
Being involved in humanitarian work in some of the toughest parts of the world provides perspective. I hope I'm known for being a bridge person, someone who bridges multiple worlds.
Kat met the love of her life, Daly Irvin, at an event for entrepreneurs committed to creating social change.
Let's talk about your marriage for a minute, if I may. Obviously very much in love.
Yes. We had a deep physical connection and intellectual connection. I mean, it's real shit. It's like deep, delicious, beautiful, special. There's deep intentionality around our relationship. We literally fell in love pretty instantly. Within weeks, we were saying, I love you, and proposing, and got married at Burning Man. And 6 months later, made a baby. Now we're here.
Best love story, period.
Ocean Cole Irvin was born on September 14th, 2017, weighing in at 8 pounds.
What is that like, seeing a human being that the two of you made?
There are no words. It is literally magic. He's like, that is not what I want. The physical toll of it, the emotional toll is super real. But thinking back about that day and those special moments, makes it all worth it.
As Kat adjusts to her new leading roles as mother and wife, she also prepares herself for her new reality.
How do you think becoming a mother changes your perspective and your ability to lead such a huge corporation?
I'm sure I will return to work a slightly different version of myself, a more tired version of myself, but an even better version of myself. Time to belly up to the booby buffet. Being a new mother only enhances, I think, my depth of empathy and view of what really matters in the world and what type of culture I want to build in a company and what type of leader I want to be viewed as.
Are you proud of the woman that you are?
Yeah, I'm very proud of the woman that I am. I'm proud of the woman that I continually become.
If this modern hero inspires you, please share, and don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook.